Okay, so this is how it's going to work next week when you come to church. You'll be parking wherever you park. This door is going to be closed, but these doors are going to be open. This door here will be open, and also over here, the handicapped door will be open by the ramp. So what we'll do, we'll just come in, open the door, and then we'll come in here and look who's here.
Welcome! We have hand sanitizer on the top of our cubbies on both sides. You may use that. You will pick your bulletins up from the cubby, and we ask that you come and take a seat, trying to social distance as much as possible. If you can leave space in between, and even maybe every other pew would be helpful. We are encouraging you to wear a mask, and it's not required. We can't require you to do that, but we are encouraging you to wear a mask. Come in and take your seat. Unfortunately, with social distancing, you might not get to sit in the seat you always have. We might have to social distance that seat, so no assigned seatings in the time of COVID, okay? But we'll ask you to take a seat. Our service will look a little bit different. We have our offering plate here in the back. We will not be passing the offering plate so as to not pass as many germs along, so you can put your offering either when you come in to find your seat or on your way out. And we ask you to put your offering in the plate.
Or online.
Or you can give online as well. Our service will be a little bit different, as we are not supposed to be singing. When you sing, even with a mask on, I know it sounds crazy, but when you sing, your droplets can go up to 16 feet. That's why they're having a lot of problems with choirs and people were getting COVID at the beginning. So we're not going to be singing. Miss Cindy will be playing the hymns, at least a verse or two, so that we can meditate on them, so that we can have a break within the service. So you'll be encouraged to listen to the hymns. You'll notice that we've taken all the hymn books and the Bibles out of the pew racks. This is so that we don't have to clean them every time. If we had them and people were touching them, we would have to disinfect them between each service. So we just removed them so they wouldn't be a temptation. So there's no possibility of singing, but you can listen to the hymns, and I think that would be a good time to practice our meditating in silence and just listening to the music as it's played. Other changes that we have made in between each service, we'll be taking a Clorox wipe and wiping the backs of the pews, because I know people use them to stand up and hold on to them to sit down, so we will be doing that. Again, I can't make this clear enough. We cannot completely sanitize everything. This is not going to be a surgical operating room where everything is sanitized and there's absolutely no risk. We cannot make that happen. If we could, we would do it, believe me, because I want you all to be as safe as possible. But we're doing the best that we can, and we're following the CDC guidelines as best we can. So we will be sanitizing or wiping those down in between each service. If you have sanitizing wipes, I know some of you have your own wipes and kind of wipe down, and you want to bring them to wipe your spots off, that is perfectly fine. That would actually help the church out a lot, because wipes are hard to find, and so we have to buy them. They also cost money. So if you have your own and you want to sanitize your own area, that would help the church out a great deal, and also is perfectly fine. I will be in my usual spot up front, and I will be speaking the service. There will be no singing in the service, so all of our responses are going to be spoken and not sung responses. Our benediction will be spoken and whatnot. But it'll be good to have you in person and be able to see you. We're also not going to be passing the peace. I will simply say, the peace of the Lord be with you always. You can respond, and also with you. And then if you want to just look at everybody and wave, do whatever. But we are asking, please no handshaking with each other. Just give them a good hearty smile and be seated. Likewise, at the end of the service, I will be in the back to greet people, but I'm asking that we don't shake hands with each other, that we just leave the service. You can greet one another.
No hugs?
No hugs.
Ah.
I know. Do what you feel most comfortable doing and what the other person feels most comfortable doing. It's not all about what we want and what we feel. I'm perfectly happy shaking hands. I've been hugging people that want to be hugged. The masks, I haven't been wearing them for our service digitally. Tom's been okay with that and stuff like that. However, I know some people do wish to refrain from that, and they do wish to wear their masks, and they do wish to take the precautions, and I respect that. And so I won't shake your hand if you don't want it shaken, all of those things. So I just ask that even if you don't feel, you think it's overboard, that we respect what other people are feeling and how other people are feeling. And I guess finally what I want to say is, if you do not feel comfortable coming back to church yet, that is absolutely okay. Obviously, I'd love to see everybody back and greet everybody. I've missed everybody tremendously. But if you don't feel comfortable, don't guilt yourself into coming when you're not ready. Tom will be putting the sermon up later on in the day, so you can still hear the sermon and be connected, and we will invite you back in whenever you feel comfortable. So this is by no means a way to guilt anybody to coming back when they're not ready.
And communion plans will be on hold.
We will be holding communion even for 8:15. I know 8:15 people, that's gonna be a little weird for you, but we're not doing communion until the beginning of July. That's so that I'm checking out what all the other churches are doing for precautionary measures as far as handing things out, even taking the cups from the tray, you're touching other cups and whatnot. And again, some of it sounds overboard, but we'd rather be cautious than have everybody get sick, okay? So no communion until the first weekend of July, and I will work out how communion will be. It will probably be continuous. We won't be up at the communion rail because everyone touches the communion rail, but I will let you know when the time comes what we're going to do for communion. So I hope to see you all next weekend, and it's been great having you online. If there's any questions, please feel free to call the church office, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that anyone might have as far as starting back up our worship. One final thing, with social distancing, we can use, obviously, if we get a lot of people, use what I like to call the peanut gallery, either the Sunday school room as overflow, or the side pews to the side, just so that we're making sure that we're spreading ourselves out and we're not on top of each other. You can also sit in the very front pews. Imagine that. I know it's not Lutheran, but you may sit in the very front.
And no reservations are required.
No reservations are required. Exactly.
And they can use, that door will be open too, correct?
The alley door will be open as well from the parking lot. So the parking lot door and the two doors on the ramp side will be open. The middle door is going to stay closed just so that we don't have
that one right there.
Yeah, the one if you're looking at the altar to the right, just so that we don't have so many doors to wipe down in between each service. And that's about all I have. If there's any questions, give me a call, shoot me a text, or I'll do my best to answer them.